Hello, YouTube. It is Sunday, the 7th of August, 2016. Yes, today I'm just going to get into the meat and potatoes of this topic, and let's see how I can do it. All right. Uh, let's keep it basic right now. Shit, where's it at? Okay, we're going to be talking about revolutions and the reason that governments create revolutions. And also, before they give you your revolutions, they give you your counterculturalism. And this was started in the 70s and the 60s, and it's through the culture industry, weaponized weaponized entertainment. Okay, you would notice that every 10 years, America gets a overhaul on their culture because uh, the Royal Royal Institute of National Affairs decided that America would be the world's monoculture, but first they must use it on Americans first, and then the rest of the world later. So now the main group right now that is let's say from the Fabian Society is let's say your black liberal groups, your see the black revolution was to change the American black undermine the American black a strong Christian household because of they were the most conservative. But through after the 60s, they brought in the 70s black exploitation, and being virtuous was gone out the window, and being a pimp, Mac player, druggie, that became romanticized about, and so they were able to undermine um, the Christian family and eventually break up the homes through through music, over sexualized, and destroying the family that way. Now, also in there, they have all their counter groups that they used Islam to also, as far as this militant um, outlook, they wanted to take away the Christian conservative in America. Okay, they had Farrar Muhammad was CIA because Nation of Islam is all um, um, counterculture, and your leaders are given to you. Okay, so that being said, uh, the Black Power movement. Okay, the Black Power movement. Um, I mean, in uh, the clenched fist, or they called it the the raised fist. Right now, this this symbolism is when they're creating these revolutions. Now, these revolutions are um, are oppressive in nature, and these revolutions lead to a thing called positive freedom. Now, Orwellian speak, it's nothing positive about it, and it's basically taking people who will kill and destroy. It's how you destabilize a working society. So recently, in the there's been a trend in these black nationalist shootings. Now there was one in Louisiana, and the other was in Dallas, and the other one was in Baltimore. Now these are all militant um, uh, um, uh, um, branches. Now, these are covert psychological operations, and because what they're trying, see, we are post 9/11, okay? So, um, so you get these different groups. Oh shit! You get these different groups, different think tanks that come in, and so the left. You have the left, and then you have the right. The right use fear for their propaganda, and then the left use civil rights as an issue to propel their agendas. Now, there's a video game out called Division, and it's totally playing into this narrative. Now, I'm gonna advise anyone not to join any groups. I'm gonna advise everyone to not go to any of these rallies or these protests because they're all psyoped out. Now, notice what has happened this year. There was a movie called The Race, right? About a black man in the Olympics. Now, this is also an Olympic year, and there's so much symbology in that. They had the remake of Roots. Okay, now they have it wasn't a remake, but called Birth of a Nation of Nat Turner. Now these people are all in the so-called black conscious community, and they're all either Masons or working with Masons. Now, what especially now these the Egyptian-tology ones push revolution. Now, the RGB flag is a socialist flag, and that has many connotations of why people are joining these things, because it gets into mass psychology. Now, white supremacy has been a tool, but it's not the only thing, and so there's people who get paid for publishing these things called black power propaganda, and it's basically feeding off the narrative of the victim. Now, like I said, they don't really acknowledge that the black exploitation played a lot to do with their value intrinsically as a person, and what they do and what they don't have to offer. But so many things. So you have a lot of these guys that are getting paid, and who's funding these people to pushing this propaganda. Now, anywhere you see a clenched fist, just know there's a psychological operation going on. Now, that's going to be very difficult for a lot of black people because we normalized it, but this was all planned out, and so through the culture of hip hop, or what they call black people music, is made popular because of its weapon, of its ability, of its weaponized ability. You had songs called like "Fuck the Police," right? And then, wouldn't you know it, NWA is going to the White House. You know, mind you, died 2 weeks later, but so you have a culture full of lack of a better word, degenerates, and people who and their music is basically morally crippled. Not to say that there's not some good people in it, okay? Because anyway, but in a whole, it's divisive. Now, so you have these Black Lives Matters, who is a total psyop, because it makes you think just because you're black, your opinion matters. Not everybody's opinions matter. Okay, I mean, the weird have gone pro. So, there's just just like go on YouTube. It's lowbrow everything. Everything's lowbrow, and it's hard to find highbrow. And so, this is what they gave us the internet for, is for these things called flash mobs, because it's gonna be used for these martial laws. Now I think they've already decided through this propaganda of police brutality, they're going to be bringing in federalizing the police now, so it's no longer going to be local. And so I guess the Constitution just went on out the door about no stationed armies in peacetime. But I guess since we're post 9/11, which Bush ushered in, so you're looking at Obama, but Obama's just the Fabian side, and I'd rather go with the Fabian side, the democracy side, than the Trump side or the neocon side, because that's going to be way more oppressive as time moves on. But the thing is, we have to tell these Black Lives Matter people to sit their fucking ass down, because they're going to create a conflict and a thing called division, to where you're going to have freaking gangs everywhere and no localized police. And so it's going back to feudalism, of where you're paying the government for its standing army to protect you. And this post 9/11 anarchy is going to be the mixture between anarchy and capitalism. And so actually slavery will be, if it ever existed, will be making a comeback, because that's the type of system that will be in play. Now, I think that's all I'm going to leave you with for right now. Maybe I'll put some pictures up. I don't know if I'll put any music, because I don't have it ready to go like that. But thank you for your time. Good night.